Hi guys, welcome to my Liverpool v Arsenal preview, which is almost like a prediction. So let's just fire into it. It's almost like a title eliminator for a contender already. Um, you've got Liverpool that has scored 7 goals, conceded 4. You've got Arsenal on the other side that has scored 6 and conceded none. You've got a team that is scoring goals but is conceding them. Also, you also have an Arsenal that is scoring the goals and not conceding them. But if you've seen any of the games in the past, there's goals galore normally. I've got the stats here for the past 3 Premier League games that we've played. It was 2-2, 2-2, and 2-1. 2-2 was obviously what both 2-2 was last season's. So there's always goals. And I think so far Liverpool's defense has been shaky. And it's tough to say that when they've got the likes of Virgil van Dijk and Kerkez in there. And obviously I know Frimpong picked up an injury, but he looked really good in the first game. So there's that side of it. And then on the Arsenal side of it, you've got Gyökeres that scored 2 goals last game. But has he hit the ground running? I don't think so. Ekitike on Liverpool side, he has. I think he scored in both the Premier League games so far. So it'll be very good to see how Saliba and Gabriel deal with Ekitike. I always call him TK, except I never get his name right. Ekitike. Wirtz as well. He's been very quiet, but if you've watched him at Bayer Leverkusen or Germany, he's he can turn it on. And I think in big games, he's more than likely to turn it on. Um, so you have players that are fantastic and have hit the ground running, and then you also have the other players that are still kind of getting into the groove, into the way of it. So you have that side of it. Um, I don't know what to expect. I really want to see Arsenal going to win. I really hope we do. But everyone knows going to Anfield, that's just a different beast. It's, Anfield is sort of what Old Trafford used to be like about 10, 15 years ago, maybe 20 years ago, actually. You go there and you're just intimidated. The fans sing, well, you'll never walk home as soon as they come out. And then it goes a bit quiet, and then they start singing again. So you have that factor. You have Arne Slot, that, in my opinion, well, my opinion last season anyway, I thought he was going to come in and he's going to take a few months to actually hit the ground running and get there. He won the Premier League in his first season. You know what I mean? Um, so that's another factor because Arteta's under pressure. This is what his fifth, sixth season. He's only got an FA Cup this game, and at the time it was a semi-final. Unfortunately, you don't win anything for getting to a semi-final. So you have that. Arteta needs to win these games. I don't know where I'm beating with the top six for however many games, but that can be that can easily be taken away today. So I'm filming this the Sunday morning. I really want to see Arsenal going to win, but for some reason I think it's going to be a bum squeaking 1-1. I really do. I think both teams are going to set up to basically counter react to what the other teams set up to do. I think at times Liverpool are going to let Arsenal have the ball and play about with it. Because as far as I know, Saka is injured. He hasn't travelled. Odegaard has travelled, but hasn't played well so far. Um, then Martinelli seems to always turn up in these big games for somewhat. He hasn't done an awful lot so far, but I think he can do all right today. And then on the other side, I think Arsenal are also going to let Liverpool counter attack because we saw Leeds do it, and we saw United do it, and we have conceded shots on target, and you can't do that to this Liverpool team with the likes of their Ekitike, Gakpo, Salah. Because if they have as many shots on target as Man United did in the first game, they are going to score goals. They just are. That's not. It's inevitable. Raya so far has been consistent. He has had a few shaky moments, but he's also kept us in that Man United game, and he didn't really have an awful lot to do against Leeds. But as I say, this Liverpool team is a different beast. So as I say, Odegaard has travelled, but does he get in? For me, I don't think he does. I thought when Yeri came on, we felt more freer. It was quicker ball, quicker movement. You're getting the ball into Gyökeres. That is what we need. We need the ball into Gyökeres. We need the ball into the man that is actually going to put it in the back of the net. It's all good at letting Odegaard give it to Saka, Saka cut in and take a shot on, or cross it into the back post. That's fine. But in the first two games, how many times did that lead to a goal? Gyökeres had what one-on-one against Leeds, and he scored it. He also scored the penalty. So yeah, you have to take that with a pinch of salt. That everyone says his goal tally from last season's boosted up by penalties. You still have to score the penalties. Like yeah, the penalties are not a given. As you saw, Man United lost the penalties and what Celtic lost the penalties midweek in the Champions League. But I don't know what to expect. This is one of the few games where I do get mad anxiety about because we sometimes do turn up at Liverpool. We sometimes turn up and we play phenomenal. But I really don't want history to repeat itself, where sh shoddy, shocking defending lets us down and lets a two-goal lead slip. I also think this isn't a game for Arteta to do his usual, where he scores one goal and lets us camp in our own box. So as I say, if you let Liverpool have those many shots on target, they are going to tuck them away. They just are. That's how Liverpool roll. That's how they play. As I say, they scored 6 goals in 2 games this season. Um, I really don't know. It's a really hard one to predict because you've got Arsenal that some people are saying are favourites for the title. My opinion, I don't think we are. I think Liverpool, possibly City. I mean, I know City got absolutely spanked off Spurs last week, but I think they too, they've won it before. They know what it takes. Arsenal don't. They just don't. They've been that end of the table, that end of the table at the end of the season, but they've never actually finished on top under Arteta, I should say. So, big game today. Arsenal need to go out and just throw fucking caution to the wind. Start Wanyeri, play Madueke on the right, because when he went to the right, he looked quite good. He looked really good, in fact. Martinelli on the left, Gyökeres up front, and you know what? You bring Eze on in the second half, because Eze has travelled. If he isn't even on the bench, I don't even know what he's been doing for the past week. Um, Zubimendi, he's going to have a crucial game today. He's going to have that cool level head, get the ball into feet, head up, zone what's about. More than likely, he's always going to have two Liverpool players on him. But we saw against Leeds, he was able to pick the ball through the men. That's what we need. Declan Rice needs to start turning up. Last couple of games hasn't been great. He hasn't. He needs to turn up. Saliba and Gabriel have been they've kept clean sheets with David Raya, but they need to kind of make sure they're 100% today with their tackles in their head. They can't have any head rush and slide in and get sent off or give away a penalty. Timber has to be on the right. He's so good on the right. And I've seen an awful lot of people saying we need to play Lewis Skelly at left back. I don't see what Calafiori's done to warrant him not play. I understand different styles and stuff. But Calafiori, in his own right, is fantastic. He really is. And I think he can be smarter. He doesn't need to be quicker than Salah, but he can be smarter with his defending. But so far, Salah hasn't been up to scratch from what I've seen. But it's Salah. He can turn on like that. He can score what 2, 3 goals if he wanted to. So it's a tough one. I am going to go a draw though. I am going to go 1-1. More than likely Arsenal score first in the first half, and then in the second half Liverpool score, and there'll be a 1-1 result, and then we won't be any further forward whether who's possibly going to be title favourites because we're both going to be in the same points and the same almost goal difference. So well, not a goal difference. I should just thought we would be better, but you know what I mean. It's still goal difference doesn't always win you the league. Does sometimes, it doesn't always. But there you go. That's my preview. I think it's going to be an Arsenal Liverpool 1-1. Where are the goals coming from? I probably think Mo Salah and you'd like to see Gyökeres, but for some reason I want to say Noni Madueke. I think he'll score. I don't know. Got a sneaky suspicion of that one. But there you go. There's my preview. If you agree, fantastic. Give this video a quick like. If you don't, comment below. We're always keen for your guys' opinions. This is what this is about football opinions. So if you've got yours, comment below and we'll get back to you.